Alright guys, I just want to wish everyone a happy Christmas and a happy new year. Really been struggling lately to have enough time to actually do videos. Let's go and have a look at what it's like outside. So we're in La Mata. Nobody's left his project right at my feet, thank you. Got the laundry out at the minute, so I'm not going to pan too far. Got another one of our little trees. This will be my lime, hopefully. Pretty quiet out there. You can see straight down the main road there. It's a bit of a... Let's focus the Christmas lights down there. Very quiet. Can't grumble though. Yeah, it's a bit of an anti-climax for the end of the year, to be fair. Literally, the night before I was coming back to Spain, Cebu got hit with, in the Philippines, got hit with typhoon. It's ripped the roof off one of our buildings there. Power and everything's off, and to be fair, the reaction speed from the government's atrocious at best. And now, don't get me wrong, people go, oh, it's a third world country. Oh, it's not that. I mean, the mobilisation is atrocious. And it was pretty much last time something occurred similar, a bit further north. That's why I sort of don't grumble at it, because we took a massive hit this time. Last time we didn't get hit at all, and we have the luxury of being able to fix it. A lot of other people are going to spend a lot of time, spending years getting back to where they were, where we'll be able to sort it out probably 3 months, and that'll be back up and running. Once they get the power back on, the water back on, because my brother-in-law's there at the minute, and he's on a queue from 2 o'clock in the morning to get petrol, because we do have a generator out there as a backup, emergency backup, but even getting fuel for it is painful. But we live and learn. Life moves on. Like I said, I don't grumble too much. The way I look at it, the whole COVID situation seems to be becoming a bit of a anti-climax at the minute, in the sense of we're told everything to be worried, concerned, blah blah blah, and in all honesty, it's sort of proven a funny point. The new variant is supposed to spread super fast and all the stuff that comes with it, trying to force people down the full lockdown way of life, which is the way it's been driven. Yet it was a bit bizarre listening to one of the guys out of Africa that deals with the disease, and he's had COVID twice himself, and he said 80% of the population there have actually had COVID, and they haven't been mass vaccinated. They don't have the third booster jab or the fourth booster jab or any of that stuff. But it's basically people have built up an immune system, antibodies, the natural stuff that occurs. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but this is coming from somebody that's actually in Africa, that was involved in the discovery of the new variant, that's literally saying it's not as bad as it. It's sort of been played out, drummed up. It's not playing out the way it was sort of being pushed, which is two things. Firstly, it doesn't do the government any confidence in the fact that, we overreacted first time out. No, they didn't react quick enough the first time out. Now we're like variant 10 or whatever, The reality is, I would say that human nature and existence is starting to take over, in my personal opinion. I don't think we're out of the woods yet in the sense of politically. I do think normality is still going to be a long time away, the way the government are still not really proactive in doing anything to gear things up in the right direction. It's all just, let's see what happens. And I have to admit, it's one of the big problems that I find in the UK is there's too many people what are called business as usual. They're not very good in a crisis. They don't make decisions. They procrastinate. They dwell. They don't commit to things. And currently, we've got an entire cabinet full of them. Don't get me wrong, red or blue. I don't think for me, there's confidence in either side. I think the whole system's flawed because the fact you've only got two choices and you may not like either says it doesn't really represent me. There's a good chance they don't really represent you as well. But pushing that aside, I think because it's sort of not become critical, and they're still trying to drum it up as a major catastrophe, I think we'll ride through this year into the start of next year with a very low mortality rate. Infection rates I'm not interested in, really not interested in, unless they have a effect that is significant. You know, grow left an extra ear, or kills people, or lowers their immune system. I'm not interested, because let's be honest, we have different variants of the flu, colds, and how many other diseases on a annual basis. I did say it was quiet, but screaming kids and some of the locals on the way home. Yeah, so for me, it was a good thing the way it sort of ended at the end of the year. Because I know a lot of guys were sort of giving up the ghost on wanting to travel or do stuff because they knew things were sort of getting ground to a halt. But it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing, this government. But hopefully that does put us in better stead for next year. I've had a few people ask me about, we should have a general election. To replace Boris with what? What are we going to end up with? I mean, you've got to look at, nobody sort of says, Boris for leader, did they? Or Theresa May. I mean, Cameron, to be fair, was in when I sort of headed back to the West. I didn't even know who he was. So I couldn't really comment on how he was elected or who chose him. But the UK is lacking leadership, real leadership, not people that are in it for themselves, which these guys seem to be. And I don't think it matters if it's red or blue. Tony Blair proved that. But anyway, that's enough from politics. Let's get into Christmas. So I've had to pause things because I don't know how much the Philippines is going to cost me at the moment. I'm not going to show you my laundry. But the conservatory set up, doors and windows are already ordered. They're actually fabricated, sat in the factory. I'm not doing them till probably February now. But basically going to cut that out where the window is. Drop a new double door in there. Alright, I'll spin it around with my laundry. Be a sofa sat there along that wall there. It's a sofa bed, so if anybody comes over, wants to stop over for the couple of days, not a couple of weeks, couple of days, come over the weekend with us. Be a sofa bed there. Then sort of halfway along is my new desk, which is sort of, let's go and have a look. So my new desk is sort of here at the minute, which is significantly massive, which has got the electric controls. It's a standing one because I'm suffering with back problems at the minute. Probably moving furniture and stuff for the last week. But yeah, so that'll sort of sit further out with a chair, and there won't be much else in there. But it'll sort of finish here on the edge. So that'll there. Slot glass system, so you can open it all the way around. and that'll be my office space with the double sliding door here. Where the one on the right, which is roughly there, will be locked, and this side will open. Why is that? So you don't fall down the stairs. But beyond that, we're doing okay. But like I says, I mean, you know, when people talk about a hard year because of COVID, I've had the same. I've been stuck away from the family a lot. Work's been an absolute nightmare. And on top of that, we've obviously had the purchase of the house, the renovation costs, the disaster over in the Philippines now. I'm looking forward to starting next year. There's not much time left on this one to ruin anything else. But you got to laugh because you've got to onwards and upwards. Got to move forward. Look for the better times. I mean, at the moment, my big concern is what should I cover the render with? Because I'm thinking they either gouge it out and recover it, but I don't want it looking tacky. Not sure what to do. I was thinking slate, but then it looks a bit like a mausoleum. So I'm still thinking on that, whether just to get it smoothed off and tidied up. Any ideas is welcome. I know a few people have thrown some questions out there lately about the immigration stuff for a start. The immigration stuff, even the immigration guys are sort of sitting in limbo because, to be fair, the UK is still way beyond where it should be. They don't really talk about it because, talk about COVID. Because they haven't sorted the Brexit stuff out yet. That's still going to be ongoing for another 2 years. The Spanish side aren't too concerned in the sense of they'll just follow what's ready. Little tip: put your residency card in your passport, and then they won't stamp your passport. Which saves getting a passport if you travel as much as I do, every 12 to 18 months. But it's still dying down. I mean, real estate agents are the ones that are clued up on it because they do all the paperwork for people, so they know more about it than I do because they're down there pretty much every week. If you are buying a house, Noel will tell you. Noel's recently moved to La Mata down there somewhere. I think it's down on the plaza. Bumped into him over at Food Line, and he was saying one of the things they requested on the NIE was the stamp in his passport, but they hadn't stamped it at the airport. So bear in mind, if you're buying a house, get it stamped at the airport on the way in, because it's not so easy to go, can you just stamp my passport when you're already here? Because bizarrely, they don't agree with you. So just bear that in mind, because they might let you through, but ask to stamp it if you need the stamp. And if you're not sure, ask your real estate agent, because you will need it for the NIE. Noel will probably update in the comments on that, because he's recently done a purchase. The La Mata group, there is a La Mata group. If anyone wants a link, just ask in the comments below, and I'll post a link to it. I haven't really done a channel one. I mean, I'm sort of umming and ahhing because, to be fair, I'll do a Facebook group because more people can get involved, but I don't really want to be moderating and double checking what everybody's doing every 5 minutes. Because, to be fair, I'm quite busy, and this is another reason for today's video. Is I'm going to try and catch up with everybody I'm supposed to be meeting up with this year, because it's been so busy, because every time I've been back it's been moving stuff, fixing stuff. Even this week I've worked night and day, finishing on the house, and like today, even though I've just put the desk and everything together, it's sat there, I've still got those sockets to change, so they're already under the desk ready to go. And yesterday we're securing all the framework around the washing area, because I had to cut them all down because the new shower tray was bigger than the space, so that had to be altered and put some noggins and stuff in to reinforce it. So it's been constantly busy. Biggest waste of time, I would say, is the TB unit downstairs. Do not buy one. They're not very well built. It's straight out of China as far as I'm concerned. Desk, the JYSK one, I think it was €350. Very easy to build. Instructions are good quality. Happy with that. But the TV unit, absolute pig of a build. The instructions are wrong, because I'm looking at it going, that's not right. And then you're looking at it, you're having to alter some of the bits, and you do it. So if you're not even familiar with doing some of this stuff, you will find it an absolute pain. So don't recommend the TV unit at all. But pretty much everything else has been pretty good. Nothing really to complain about. Just remind me, we have a look at the washing machine because it connects to the Wi-Fi. Don't know why. I'll soon find out. But yeah, it's been a busy year. We come out on the right side of it, considering all the downsides that myself and everybody else has been having. So I can't really grumble. We've got 6 years in the making. So we've got the first property. Just got to finish off these last bits, like I said. Once that hole's there, I'll decide what I'm going to do with the renovating. Once you knock that through, bigger window there, so that'll become a longer window up to about there. So you've got a nice view out there. Because then, even that sofa, it's a bit warm there. It can fit over there next to the laundry area, or whatever, because it'll just be for people crashing out on, if we've got friends staying over or somewhere. It's just a nook to chill out. We even put a TV up on there somewhere. I don't know. We'll work that out once we get the windows and doors done. But yeah, hoping to meet up with a few guys over the next few days, because I've been promising. I know that you guys have been chasing me to meet up as well. So Keenan and Arena are over tomorrow. Going to have Igor and Natalia over as well, because Igor's done most of the building work. Want to try and get Richard over and his partner, and Brian over with his missus. So even now, still busy, but at least it's a bit of entertaining, which is nice. It's actually been nice to be able to relax. And as you can see, in a t-shirt, it's not cold. It's probably 16 degrees maybe, and it's 9:30 at night. So all good. But have a great Christmas, guys. Hope to see you all in the new year. And if you do see me in La Mata, just give us a shout. You may surprise me and catch me off guard, but just bear in mind that this is one way. I don't know what you look like. You're looking at me. But have a fantastic Christmas. I really appreciate everybody's time and watching the channel and supporting it. Does make it all worthwhile, and I know it's nice getting feedback that people have found it useful. Moved out here because of the videos, and it just shows there is alternative ways to live in. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to not rant, I'm going to waffle on for about 5 minutes now. Because you look at the UK, a lot of people spend 20-25 years paying their mortgage off. This place here is already worth more than we paid for it, even with the renovation costs. I think the market is going to be fairly stagnant here, but a lot of people are reevaluating the way they live. Myself, I'm looking at going back to consulting. I'm weighing up the options at the moment, because I don't need as much money, but generally I can actually make more money consulting anyway. But ultimately, their lifestyle choices. I noticed with the COVID period that the UK, for me, I find a bit depressing, to be fair. And I don't suffer with depression, but I can feel so many things around you in comparison that aren't positive. And don't get me wrong, I know different areas are better, because I spend a lot of time I work in Northampton, but I find Birmingham more of an upbeat area, and there's a lot of people that I I have friends, associates, or whatever, that are all pretty positive people on the plus side and all that, but it's just different. I mean, I do think Northampton does have a lot of issues. It's got massive drug problem and other things that do drag it down. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, here we are in Spain. They do a lot of distributing from here, because obviously it's easy access off the coast into Europe. So they do have it, but I'm not tripping over addicts in the supermarket at the front door, which in Northampton, it's nearly every supermarket. I never experienced that before anywhere else. It's just not nice. But I find here, you can come out here, sit like here, just up here talking to you guys. I can hear the waves in the background. When the kids are playing over here, not the screaming ones over here earlier. Nice to watch, can watch the football. Parks just there. Nature parks over that side. We just want to go for a cycle ride. Cycle path up that way, or heading towards Torrevieja, up and over the hill. It's just a nice area. I know some people go, it's an 80s build. Yeah, it's an 80s build, so what? If I want to spend 4 times as much on a new place, I could do. But for me, I'm trying to get out of the rat race again. Because for me, 5 properties here is enough for me to just call it a day. Rent 4 out and live in 1. That's me. I'm content. I'm not after a big car or anything like that. And that's the thing. Like now, a lot of people are reevaluating their lives. The Great Resignation's occurred in many countries. I mean, I know they're on about America now. The UK is talking about it. I think it's the last couple of weeks I've actually heard people actually mention it. But I'm actually seeing it. And a lot of companies don't know how to deal with it because they just assume you just put up and shut up. But people go, no thanks. And then they're going, we can't recruit anybody. They won't come. What's wrong? The business model. But people are reevaluating their lives. You are sitting there going, family's more important, health's more important. I've been stuck at home for say 12 months. If you've been lucky enough to get paid to sit on your backside, you've done all right. Or you've been able to work from home. You're thinking, don't need the new BMW. If I can work from home, don't need a BMW. I can get Tesco's delivered or whatever. I don't need a car. You end up with 2 cars, family, drop them down to 1, and suddenly that's an extra £3,000-4,000 back in your kitty for the month, for the year. And that doesn't include the fuel. That's the leasing or fleecing, or the car payments. Or in my case, £300 a month in tax. So getting rid of the car for me is a priority, which is something I'm looking at. Not this car, the one in the UK. But the point being is you've got to look at it that way. You suddenly go, okay, well, that's £300 a month off your wages. Could you live without that? Well, yeah, because you only use it for company use. So you start going, well, I could take that off. That's over £3,500 a year off your pay plus tax. So because it's not really 3.5, is it? You got the tax on it, and you start rolling it back, and you go, don't need as much money, because a lot of stuff you have is actually to fund your work life, bizarrely, which isn't really your life. Most people work because they have to, not because they want to. Or more importantly, a lot of people do work that they don't love. They do it because they need to. So I fully understand why people are reevaluating what they're doing. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. But like I says, these options, you look at this, what this cost me is probably a half of a 3-bedroom house in Northampton. Oh, you won't get the same work in Spain. Don't care. I'm not on about work. Don't care about work. The point being is, realistically, last 12 years of my life back in mortgage years. Then you start going down, okay, don't have council tax. I pay the equivalent, I think it's 200 a year or something on this, not 150 a month or whatever ridiculous amount it is in the UK. And you start going, I can lower my cost of living. So yeah, just throwing that out there, there is other options. I mean, I only rent a room that's not much bigger than the balcony here in the UK. In fact, it probably is about the same size as the balcony, because most of the time you're working. When I go back this time, I'm going to start going to the gym again. So it'll be work, gym, and by the time you finish then, you just want to go to bed. Ultimately, this is my home. And I'm just saying to you guys, if you want to make it happen, you can do. There's plenty of properties out here. They're built too many. But there's a lot of the older properties around need full renovations. These are colder in the winter, don't get me wrong. We have got solar water heater up there. And I'm going to put solar panels up once the Philippine stuff's sorted. Because firstly, I want the windows, the door windows, rendering, conservatory, solar, in that order. But I'm phasing it in because, like I said, I don't know how much the Philippines going to cost me now. Because, like I said, it's lost a roof, a lot of windows and doors damaged on the other properties, and still waiting to hear on relatives and stuff to see how they fared, because they may need helping out. Because it doesn't sound a lot, but there's no electric, no water, no internet. Getting all the services back could be a couple of months. At the moment, the ports are full of people leaving because their reliance on the state is so, well, you can't. As simple as that. They're having to evacuate en masse, which isn't a good thing in the first place. So, I mean, Robin Rowe, friends of ours, they've relocated to the north. Bizarrely, the north was what got hit last time, so they've relocated there. And Philip Patrick, a close friend of mine's, also gone up there as well now. He's heading north, and I'm sure a lot of other people with businesses needing internet are heading north, because they're all filling up quickly with people that need to carry on working, even though the main city and everything's hit hard. They're heading to where they can get infrastructure. So it's not small. Just send some money and they'll get sorted next week. It's going to be months. Even though I've already sent some money ahead, a lot of cash machines ain't working because there's no internet. You can't even get money out the bank. Can you imagine that? Stuck in that situation. Not good. But hey ho, not long till the next year, so you can only way is up. Take care, guys, and speak to you all soon. And please comment. Love your comments. Thank you.